Sherry Culpepper, and I am here with Master Mahalio Shabathia, also known as Sensei Mo, and we're here to talk about the fight that never happened. How are you, Sensei Mo?
I'm good.
So my first question is, why this fight?
Well, you know, Novell Bell and I, we actually met on the set of a mixed martial arts TV show called The Iron Ring. I felt that Novell was a little disrespectful. You know, a lot of people think this is Kung Fu versus karate, but ironically, I felt that he was disrespectful to a friend and a Kung Fu legend named Novell Bell, who was a friend of mine. So that's just about how it started. And when they asked me that I want to take the fight, I said sure.
So tell us why it never happened.
There can be several reasons why the fight never happened. It was canceled, like a minute before we were supposed to fight. They canceled the fight.
Well, let me ask you, do you hate Mr. Bell at this point?
I don't hate him at all. I mean, I really don't know him. I don't like his conduct. I don't think that his conduct is becoming of martial artists. You know, we both from the same kind of backgrounds, and in the martial arts, respect is very important. So it's really his conduct that I have problems with more so than the man himself. You know, as martial artists, we are role models, and we have to maintain that status as being role models. So the whole ghetto thug mentality is not the kind of mentality that I really appreciate.
Well, wait, Sensei, wait a minute. They call you Gangster Sensei. So that's kind of inconsistent. Tell me how that works.
They call me Gangster Sensei. Well, it works in two parts, you know, because I'm always dressed in a suit and a tie. They would always call me a gangster. So, and also the fact that, you know, I've always said that the martial arts takes a lot to do with fearlessness. And as you know, I've been a bodyguard for Wayne Gretzky. I've also been a bodyguard for Wesley Snipes. And I'll ask anybody a question when they ask, well, they said you didn't want to fight. Have you ever seen a punk in the hockey league? There's no punk hockey players. So if I'm the bodyguard for one of the greatest hockey players in the world, and when you talk about Wesley Snipes is an excellent martial artist who comes right from this neighborhood. So in order to be a bodyguard for a person, it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of fearlessness. And I don't think that a person like that would go to a point fight and decide not to fight. It doesn't make common sense.
So why not reschedule? There's a clip on YouTube showing you walking away. What's up with that?
Well, the clip is misleading. This was a pay-per-view fight, which was scheduled for 8 p.m. All the vibrato and all the, you know, nature of I want to fight now, all that came about at 11:30. I chartered a bus. I had a bus with a load of my black belts and my friends, and we were all there, and they were all in the bus at 11:30. 11:30, while I'm walking to the bus, all of a sudden, Mr. Bell wants to fight. Well, the fight is gone. Because once Bios left, which is pay-per-view, once they left, to me, the fight was officially over. One of the reasons why I wanted to come out of retirement was because of the perks. They said, hey man, it's going to be on pay-per-view, we're going to get this, it's going to be that. That's why I did all that training to make a comeback. And I'm telling you about some deep training. I'm talking about 3 times a day. Jiu-jitsu in the morning, Muay Thai in the afternoon, boxing at night. I'm talking about doing that for 120 days. And that was mixed martial arts. Even 2 days before the fight, they decided to make it into a point fight. And I still was willing to take the fight. And you know why, Sherry? Because I'd already had my friends, my family, I'd already got a bus. Everybody was coming to see this fight that we had been talking about for over 3 months. But they changed it to light contact with helmets. So it was no longer a mixed fight event.
It was almost like a disappointment for you, wasn't it? Because I always felt like you were training at this level, and those last few days, it was like, this is not the fight that you were actually training for.
Well, definitely. You know, I've been doing point fights for a long time, and you know, I don't want to come out of retirement to do a point fight. I had my mixed martial arts fantasy. You know, I wanted to go out there and bang and get somebody in the guillotine. I really wanted to just go out there and really put on a show.
And I must admit, you were definitely training hard. I've known you now for over 10 years, and this was perhaps the hardest I've ever seen you train.
Very hard training.
So finally, the last question: if he wants to fight, are you willing to fight?
You know, that's a big question. Well, first of all, let's talk about some of the issues. Some of the issues, people said, well, you know, Sensei Mo didn't have his medical. Well, Sensei Mo was late. This is all part of the machine that he has, and their whole thing is about misleading people. First of all, anybody who knows anything about point fighting, once it became a point fight and no longer a mixed martial arts fight, there's no need for me to be at the event at 5 o'clock. Guess why? Because there's no weigh-in. There's weigh-ins at a mixed martial arts fight. Once it became a point fight, every point fight martial artist knows that you just need to be on deck when they call your name. I was there 45 minutes before the fight. I had all my stuff. I was dressed and ready. Everybody who got Vios, all my friends who had to get their money back, who got Vios, saw me out there with my white karate gi on. Then I changed out of my white karate gi on, and I was also in my shorts, my M&A shorts, and my school t-shirt. Okay. If Mr. Bell wanted to fight, why didn't he come now out at 8 o'clock? Obviously, he had enough people there to say, hey, he's outside, he's ready to fight, 8 o'clock, they're calling us. Why 11:30? There's a lot of chicanery going on. I'm more than willing to fight. Obviously, I worked hard to do this, but I don't want all the hoopla, all the negative stuff. You know, the ghetto behavior and all this kind of stuff. I don't want that. That's not what we're about. That's not what we teach.
This is true.
And that's not what I teach. I have a school. I have children in my school. We're supposed to be role models. And this whole martial art ghetto mentality, I am not with that. If somebody wants to fight, sure. You want to take the fight before I get back out of shape, you know.
The clock isn't ticking.
Let's do it. But in order to fight, you know, there's money involved too.
Right.
I'm a martial arts professional. You know, when I was young, I just would go on the tournaments just to bang, just to fight. But that's for kids. I'm a grown man. And I'm a professional.
Your ego doesn't need to be massaged at this point.
Well, you're sitting among all my trophies, Sherry. This is just some of my trophies, you know. You don't make the Hall of Fame because you turn down fights. You make the Hall of Fame because you fight. As I said earlier, you're not a bodyguard and you're scared of a point fight. Let me tell you one thing about the way of a martial artist. A real martial artist will go in the ring and lose knowing that he might not win before he just decides, I'm not going to fight. That's just not in my DNA. That's something that we don't do. If I knew I was going to lose, I would have still went in there in that ring and fought. Would you have hated me if I'd lost?
Not at all.
Good. Because martial arts, we lose. I lost a lot of fights. I won a whole lot of fights too. So because I won so many fights, I know the spirit of a martial artist. And it's just not in the spirit of the martial artist not to fight. Now, they're saying he's got some medical problems. If he has medical problems, then he can't fight the fight that I'm going to fight. Because my fight's going to be hard. I'm not playing tag. So if those medical problems are cleared up and he's able to, like he said, bang, what do they call themselves, team bang out? Well, you're going to bang out. You're banging out with a legend. I've been banging for a long time. So when you're ready to bang, let's bang. That's not point. That's team touch.
Okay.
I'm not interested in team touch. So I will take a fight, but not with team touch. Team bang out, and the money's got to be right.
Well, you heard it straight from Master Mo, Sensei Mo. And thank you so much. Thank you for clearing up the confusion.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope that cleared it up.
Come on, let's go. Let's do it. Come on. Yeah, nigga, come on. Come on. Set it off. Let it off. It's between me and you.